Oh, we're episode 30. I was like, what episode are we?
No, you're somebody else dehydrated.
I know. I was like, I'm so dehydrated recently. Hello, guys, and welcome back to Say More Podcast and episode 30. Like I was just saying, I can't believe we're on episode 30. It's come around so quick.
I know. 30 is
Mm.
like a milestone, I feel like.
Yeah. Like, that's like, is that like 20? No, we've just surpassed like a quarter to half. So it's
Yeah,
100, which is crazy.
I know.
So
Oh,
exciting, though. I'm good. Things have been good. It's been obviously since we released the last podcast, obviously we talking about India. So obviously so many people are like, oh my God, did you do it? Which weekend was it? Like, are you still prepping? No, I actually didn't end up doing it because my visa. Guess, just take a wild guess when my visa turned up.
Sunday, 9 a.m. in the morning before
That,
pre-check.
that- like literally, it would no, so it was an hour. It was an hour after the girls stepped off stage, and after like an hour after they stepped off stage on a Sunday evening. Like, why would I get any response on a Sunday evening?
Right, from the government.
So I was
That's
like, it's okay. They just didn't want me. They
right.
really didn't want me there.
And universe had something bigger for you.
Yeah.
And how you've been feeling with that situation. I mean, obviously, you're happy. My little social, I call you my little social butterfly. Like you've been, but
Well, yeah. I've
so
loved it. Like, obviously, yeah, it was a blessing in disguise because then the next day, me and Max actually, I got invited to go to like a staycation thing and bring a plus one on that Sunday day. And obviously, I was like, oh, I don't have my like visa, so I'm obviously not doing India. So I accepted it. Me and Max went on a little staycay like on the Monday to Tuesday in like a resort that's it's weird because Dubai has like created these islands, like they're trying to replicate like Europe and basically make it like a little bougie little. And it's so Dubai, but like make it like a cool little getaway or whatever. And we got invited to one of the little islands, and that was really really cool. So went to that, and obviously I wouldn't have been able to accept that if I was in India. So little things like that, and it was a really nice time. But yeah, how I'm feeling about the actual showing, yeah, it's annoying because obviously I told you and obviously said before it's like my bet. Like I feel like I was better than the Olympia, but there's nothing you can kind of do if there's nothing that you can do to control the situation. I'm kind of like it's out of my hands. There's no point stressing about it. There's no point worrying about it or spending any more energy on it. So just move from it, you know? But I feel good. Like training and stuff feels good at the moment. Like I feel good in my body. Um, yeah, things are good. Things are really, really good.
are you still checking in and stuff? Like, are you still checking in?
Check-in is tomorrow. Check-in's tomorrow. So which I'm actually kind of excited for because I like how I look. I feel like I've filled out a little bit, you know, when you like because I'm technically like 1 week post show now because I was like stage rate last week from India. So I feel like I filled out a little bit. I feel like, you know, when you get that energy, like post show energy back a little bit more and you're filling out your frame, but you're still a little bit lean, like it feels nice. So yeah, it feels good. Like I feel in a good position. Obviously, I do want to like push up food because I'm hungry. Like I'm
All right.
hungry. So, but apart from that, yeah, things have been good. How have you been? How are things? I feel like I haven't seen you for ages, even
I
though we literally spoke last week. But
girl, you're talking to me, and I'm like, have we spoke the last month? Like, I don't even
yeah,
understand why. Like, why do I feel the same way? That it's so odd and weird. So this staycation, what was it like? When you say got invited, was like a promotional thing, like for
yeah, it was. Yeah, it
stuff.
was like a. Yeah, it was really cool. Yeah, it was like a really cool thing. Like you can go on like, so it's an app thing where you can go online for Dubai and like there's loads of little like deals that you can do and stuff like that and promotions. And you kind of obviously go in and you have a look and like see what one you want to kind of do. And then you have to be like accepted. So yeah, I got accepted for one and I was like, oh, this is fun. So it was like a really last minute thing because we literally did it Sunday. Like, or I saw it on Sunday. But yeah, it was really fun. It was a lot
That,
of like good
that
fun.
for your like relationship, just like
Yeah.
impromptu, like especially because you guys are like both of you are like 24/7 stuff, like both
Yeah.
freelancer, like you're like your own businesswoman, like obviously, so
Mm.
don't really get a time off unless it's like someone telling you like you need to go, like you need
Yeah.
to. That's the universe telling you like you need to go, girl. So I'm
Yeah.
time off. And how was that like over there with like food management? Like, did you like even train? Like, did you just like enjoy? Like, how was your
Yeah.
mind over there?
So it was like I just not let loose. I kind of just let myself have a bit of time off because I was like, I don't want to have to restrict in this moment where I'm like, no, 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 no. Obviously, so when I kind of went there, my main thing was like, okay, let's think about like the basis of like, okay, this is what I kind of think of all the time anyway. But when I'm in a situation, I'm like, have a look at protein first and then everything else around it, if that makes sense. So like for breakfast, which was a buffet, which was absolutely incredible, I was like, okay, what protein can I have first? And then obviously have things after that. Um, and that's kind of the mindset I always go to when I'm kind of like out for a meal or like do things before. Obviously, I just sometimes I switch off and I'm like, I don't care. I just want to have like this, and just be able to actually enjoy it. But because I was so close post show, I was like, I don't want to be an idiot and like completely go off all the rails. But there was some almond croissants there, dude. Oh my God. They were so good. Like I had to stop myself because I was like, these are really good. I'm a croissant fan, but like I've never really been into like almond croissants or anything like that. Never really like been interested. I just like a good plain butter croissant and tried almond croissants. Firstly, oh my God, so good,
Because it's
so
not
good.
and there's like the naughty flavor, like it just
Yeah,
sense. Yes.
it's so nice. But yeah, it was good. It like food management. So there was no gym there. So I was like, I'm okay with not training, like because I need to rest anyway. I trained the day we were leaving, so we left at like around 12. So I did cardio, I did a little bit of training before. And that was like early in the morning, so that was fine. And then we got back Tuesday, like late afternoon. So then we went for like a walk after. I didn't train that day because I was like, I'm tired. We've been kind of like away technically. So I'm like, I don't feel like I want to train. I don't want to push myself through that. I'll just train tomorrow. So we got back and I could have trained, but I was like, I'm not in the mood to, so I'm actually going to do it tomorrow. And that's kind of that was my little in between.
That's so cool. That's so cool. I
Mm.
enjoyed it. That was fun.
Yeah. It
You're
was
out
lovely.
and you're out a couple. Like definitely your life is way more interesting than mine right now. So
Oh
like
my
you
God, stop. Because you've been ill. You were like, I'm so sick. And I was like, no. Because I hate when stuff like that happens. And you're like, I
honestly,
just want to get to routine.
yeah, I know. It's like just been so on and off, and like I know I'm fighting some stuff, but it's been
Mm.
like everywhere. Everyone is just dealing with like fever and just coughing. And I was like watching TikTok, and that girl is like, "Can we just acknowledge that people have been coughing for like 2 months, and like people are getting like
Yeah.
get the sniffles, and then it's like the weirdest thing because normally I don't
What's
really."
the weather? What's the weather in Miami at the moment?
Babe, it's like 80 degrees. Like it's there's no weather issue or whatever. It's like
So
really like
weird.
virus. And I was like, after the Olympia, it's normal because you get so around
Mm.
people, the immune system just crashes. On top of that, like
Mm.
if you eat a little bit of like shittier food than normal, like it's normal that you
Mm.
get sick. So then I get sick, but then I'm good, and then I get sick again. And then we had Thanksgiving, and kind of everybody was kind of like sick-ish. So
Oh,
anyway, it was still good. It was still good.
yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, but dealing with those things, like I really don't want that to linger on. So I'm like getting like all these like immune system thing, but I might just get an IV this week and just get
Yeah.
it out for good because I'm not a Tylenol, Advils like girl. Like I hate that those
Yeah,
things.
same.
I'm gonna take like tea like till the day I die. Like hope that is gonna like flush my system before.
Yeah.
But it's been brutal. So yeah,
Oh, that's
so I
annoying. I mean,
had to get back
yeah.
to active life. Like I tried. Like I was like, okay, like I'll go back home. I'll shower. I'll put in a nice like little outfit. I'll just go out with the girls.
Dead.
No, like I'm like the sofa just sounds really good right now. At like 9 p.m. I pass out.
Yeah. And that's okay, especially because you're ill as well. Like it just doesn't, it's not one, you don't want to make yourself more sick and even more run down and like prolong anything any longer from just trying to push through. Because that's happened to me so many times where I'm like, I can fight this, I can do this, I'm invincible, and literally like backdated myself like a good couple of weeks because I've tried to push through and just, just be like not resting, and this is this. So it's good that you're resting and just like choosing you and stuff. It just sucks that you obviously have to do that. How was Thanksgiving though? Like with the fam and stuff, and like what did you like cook and eat and all that type of thing?
I know. I mean, we're both like, you don't have Thanksgiving. I don't have
No,
Thanksgiving.
it's so funny.
So we're both like outsider right now, like just
Yeah.
trying like insiders, you know? I don't know if you like wish anyone happy Thanksgiving because it's huge in the US. Like
Yeah.
I think Thanksgiving is the only holiday that everything shuts down. Like the whole like everything. You don't have any supermarket that are open. Like nothing is open. There's some stuff that are open for Christmas because obviously
Yeah.
religion thing, I think. But
Yeah.
thing is literally, girl, like the USA is like bye bye.
Done. Yeah.
So I got to cook with my mom the day before, and I haven't cooked with my mom for a long, long time, and
I
she's been
love that.
in classes. So, you know, you like we prep ourselves, like, you know, going into the day, like what we're gonna cook, and we're just like, you know, we're enjoying the by the pool, we're like talking about what we're gonna cook and stuff. So I got to cook with my mom until like 11 p.m. the night before.
Oh, I
And
love that.
after that, we got to go to Aldo's mom, and then we were just all together, and we just like had that spread. And like, there's Peruvian, and there's like Puerto Rican rice. We had flan. We had like my mom's like maple syrup, like pecan pie, which I
Oof.
haven't had for like almost 9 years, like a long, long time. So that was like super fun, and we had like shrimp mousse, and nobody had that. Like, you know how we have
What's that?
do you have spreads like pate and stuff? Do you know
Yeah.
what that?
Yeah. 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 Pate.
You don't have that in the U.S. My dad has been looking for two things in the U.S. that we eat like all the time at my house, but we don't have pate, like, which is, you know, the spread that you put
Yeah,
on
it's a
like,
spread. Like you get that everywhere in the UK.
it's delicious. It's really good. It's a weird
Yeah.
thing because there's like the jelly around it, and it's just like people can.
Yeah, it's like a very acquired taste. Like you have to like the taste of it because it's a little bit like sometimes a little bit bitter, but it's really
Yeah,
good with like crackers and stuff like that.
with like bread and like grapes.
Yeah.
And, and yeah, you can't find pate anywhere, and you can't find how do you say, oh, not buckwheat, sarrasin, but I don't know what that is in English, but for like pancakes, but it's like a sort
Oh.
of flour thing. Anywho, anyhow, so we got to eat, we got to enjoy. I got even like a little glass of wine, like I'm a little like wine era now. I get a little glass, but then I don't. I'm like a little
Yeah.
like wine situation. So no, girl, it's been good. Like so far, so good. And I got my fourth workout since the Olympia, and
Wow.
it's almost been like a month.
Yeah, it's a month next week. So it's been three. So it would have been so 3 weeks post show this weekend, obviously, and then next week is 4 weeks. But yeah, 4 weeks is it?
4 weeks. I mean, for you, it's kind of like weird because you're kind of technically
Yeah.
a
It's
week
like a
post.
week, a week post. Yeah, I kind of count like 3 weeks, but then like yeah, because we did increase food like a reasonable amount like within that time. Obviously, I had things off plan in between that time as well. But yeah, I mean, I was pretty close to stage last week, so yeah, it's been a week post show. But it's crazy that you've not trained. Obviously, acquired to your feedback and obviously recovery, and obviously you've been sick and stuff like that. So that makes sense that you're like, I haven't trained as much. But how have you felt with that? Like only training that like I say little, but that amount versus what we obviously were doing before prep. Like obviously in prep we were doing, 24 fucking 7, like 6 days a week, 7 days a week sometimes. Like, how did you feel like going from that to that?
I feel like it just works with my schedule. Like, you know, I just haven't been forcing it at all.
Mm,
And I do cardio. I keep my meat like pretty high as much as I can. But I've been doing like other stuff, like, you know, cleaning my house, like, you know, walking outside. I still do cardio. Like I'm trying to get like 30 minutes, like at least of treadmill a day.
mm.
Um, like stretching more because my body's just,
Mm.
I don't know, it's achy or whatever. But it's hard to like tame myself right now to like not train hard with my legs. And Tiffany, like that wellness girl, came to the gym.
Yeah.
Like, listen, that sounds really fun right now, but we were able to like get something together because she just won the Atlantic Coast, and she was like, I'm
Yeah.
not this crazy amount of weight, but her weight is like my fucking like
Top
her
set.
upset. So like, but yeah, I had a good time, and then I still trying. I'm not there yet. I think next week we're gonna actually have a plan and be like, okay, this is what we're gonna be able to do. But girl, like my volume of like leg training is gonna go down a lot, and I'm so like stressing about it.
Stressing in a like, not in a good way, obviously, from what it sounds like when you said that you're like stressing about it. Why you feel like you're stressing about it? Do you feel like because you enjoy that type of training, you don't want to have to let that
It's,
go?
it's just uncomfortable as shit. Like
Yeah.
I've been doing like at least 2 times lower body a week, and for like what this last decade.
Mm.
We're actually going to reduce volume a bit, which is it's going to be weird. Even when I had to downsize my legs, my
You were still
overall, like,
training them.
I still was training them um twice a week, but I was
Mm.
just changing. I was training fasted instead. I was doing some jogging, like just different kind of training. But now, not only do I have to not train hard legs, it's going to
Mm.
be like a circuit plyometric shit, like every 10 days.
Yeah. So you're like,
Yeah, it gives me the ick. It gives me the ick a little, especially with
it's
like,
like it's that sacrifice you have to make for the goal, but it's almost
yeah,
like a sacrifice you're like, it's
I
just
mean,
frustrating. It's
it gives
frustrating.
me the ick, and it's like I'm training at Iron University, which is like obviously has like the best fucking glutes machine. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I still gonna get like your rep here and there, like whatever,
Yeah.
trying stuff, but like getting a full on workout, like, and also like gonna be able to tame myself when that 10th day like comes, and I'm actually gonna be able to train legs. Like, how the heck am I gonna tame myself?
Mm.
Like, girl, we're not pushing like 5 plates today on the hack squat. I mean, I believe that my strength is gonna go down too, so like probably it's gonna end up working out. But yeah, girl, it makes me uncomfortable as shit. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you gotta do what you
That's
gotta do.
tough.
For me,
Yeah.
there's like no kind of like disappointment. It's just like it gives me like, but there's no such thing as like I don't want to do that because I know that's what needs to be done in order to
Hmm.
get to my goal, which is actually like I still want to win the Olympia. Like that's still my goal. So like we need to do what needs to get done.
Yeah.
Um, girl, I'm gonna jump on a like little gossiping thing. Not gossiping, but like, can we just appreciate the fact that Angelica is coming back?
Oh my god. I was like gossiping.
Bro,
I was like, what do you mean? I was like, are we discussing gossip on this chat? Not now.
or not.
Oh
We're
my
not.
god.
Like beside like Chris Bumstead and Courtney King like being pregnant, like that was the next biggest
I'm
news like
sorry, but
or like
I think my brain exploded with so much news because there was so much like going on. It was like Courtney King and Chris are having a baby. Angelica's coming back. I swear there was like other news and like it all just popped off like within like a day of each other. And I was like, I'm actually not ready. Like this is actually a bit overwhelming. But yes,
having a
yes,
season
yes,
two.
yes.
This
I'm
could not,
so happy.
yeah,
And I
girl.
love what she said, especially in her post about being a mom and like being like she feels like ready. Like she's had that time off stage now. She's had 2 kids. She's now ready to come back. She feels good within herself and she wants to represent the moms. And she also wants to be a good role model for her like children, which already she's already an incredible role model as is.
Preach,
But
yeah.
she wants her kids to see what she does. I was like, that's such boss ass bitch stuff. Like, I'm doing this for my kids and for my own like self. And like, yeah,
But
I'm coming back. And I was like, oh, so
she
good.
she's still Angelica to the core. She's like, listen, I've won these like things. Like, I think I can just win. Like, she's still that girl. Like, she's still to the core, like that competitive. Like, she knows.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, yes, yes, babe. Like,
I love
I
that.
are like such like, and people, it's weird because people have been asking me like, do you think Angelica is gonna come back? Because I was like, my dream is just like for us, like Janet to be back, Angelica to be back, like Jen, like Issa, like everyone
All in
there
the same pot.
are the same. Like, how iconic would that be? Like, how
Yeah.
would that year be if it ever comes? And then Angelica comes back. I'm like, this is
This is
insane.
coming. This is happening. All of it's coming back. I mean, I've never like for me, obviously, I've looked up to Janet, Issa, all these people like you, all those types of things from like back in the day. Obviously, I still look at myself as a newbie because I've done 2 Olympias, so I feel like I'm earning my stripes. So when I was kind of like, she was like, "Yeah, I'm wanting to be Arnold. I'm going to come back to the Olympia." I was like, I could be sharing the stage with Angelica, and that's so fucking cool in like my head. I'm like, that's so because I've looked up to her for God knows how long. So the fact that we could step on the same stage together, and yeah, it was so cool when I heard that news. I was like, yes, yes, girl. Because I spoke to her backstage at the Olympia before prejudging, and just the little like chats in general, she's just so motivating and just like so genuine, you know?
Yeah, and it hits different because obviously she has a mom, so I'm just
Yeah,
like, what we used to talk about in the past, and we're like talking about the kids, and it's just like different. But every time it's just still like you said, so genuine. So shout out to Angelica coming back on stage, girl. Like that was fucking
so
like
cool. I
I
can't
couldn't.
wait.
I
I
was like
can't
on my
wait.
phone. I was like heck yeah. I was like, this is
Yes.
amazing, and I love how like private she is. Like I feel that um most of like the OG, like I don't consider like I feel like there's 3 different generations. There's like the before Angelica, the Angelica, and then kind of like Jen, Issa
After.
were like kind of the same age. I feel that might be because of that.
Mm.
But and then like the newbie like upcoming one. Like I don't still I mean you're kind of like limit newbie, but you're not
I'm
new.
kind of a newbie because I've only done 2 years. So I feel like, or 2 Olympias. So I feel like I'm still very new, but I feel like I just know everyone. I kind of like just message everyone. I'm like, I'll reply to stuff and I'm like, you go, girl. Like, I'm just kind of like, I like to just fangirl over everyone and just kind of like say, like, go on, girl. Like, cheer everyone on it.
Yeah, I feel like you've been like for longer because I know you've been at the Olympia for 2019, and but you were not competing,
Yeah.
so you were still like in the environment. So
But yeah,
anyway,
exciting
uh,
stuff though. But I mean, today's episode, we kind of wanted to briefly talk over kind of obviously what we're doing post show, kind of talk a little bit about, I mean, balance and post show, holidays, like where our minds are at and stuff like that with that now. I mean, when I hear the word balance, when it comes to kind of like post show or just in general within the fitness industry? I mean, what do you kind of think of the word balance, especially being post show? What do you kind of feel in that way? Like, what's your balance right now?
you can go ahead, babe, because I've been talking for like the last 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So what's
I mean,
I was like, what were we
okay,
talking today? Like I could
I
just
know.
like start talking and rambling to you right now.
So, okay, so I asked a question. I kind of said to all you guys, like, what is your balance? Like in prep or post show, like what do you feel like what looks like balance for you? And what gives you like within your routine that one thing that's like that's a non-negotiable type thing? And I kind of asked people that, and I was kind of thinking about that myself. And I was like, what's my like non-negotiable when I'm out of prep that I'm like that keeps my balance there? In a sense, if that makes sense. Because like you said, I'm a social butterfly. I like to go out. And even when I'm in prep, if I'm not too tired, I like to go out because I honestly get the fear of missing out like so bad. I don't know if you ever get that or anything like that, but I feel like sometimes like I don't want to miss out on memories. I don't want to miss out on these things sometimes. So I try and bundle them in or try and work it in. Obviously, it doesn't always work, but sometimes I try and kind of like get them in. My balance is kind of like it's kind of making sure my balance for me post show anyway is making sure that I can still obviously hit my like I like being I like having more like movement and stuff in an off season, and making sure that I have like steps in. I'm being active. Like if we're gonna go and do something, like I don't know, go for a meal or something like that. Let's go for a nice walk along the beach first, then go for a meal. Like try and have like some sort of like in between, if that makes sense. And like little things like, okay, cool. Balance for me is like making sure I can see my friends and family, but then also going to the gym. Like not kind of like trying to find that nice in between, especially right after post show. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, if it makes sense for you, babe, like that's really to each its own, and I feel that
Hey,
it probably changed with obviously your experience,
time.
time, and
Mm-hmm.
all these factors that you factor into your life, and I
Mm-hmm.
moment and the period and who you have around yourself as like influences too. Like you have a partner, Maxa, that kind of eats whatever he wants and basically do his own schedule, so
Yeah.
that helps you probably to just like kind of go with the vibe. And like he's also like a very outdoorsy kind of active guy. Like
Yeah.
I think you guys kind of like matches really well on that, like those like walk and stuff, so you do have a partner to do those things with, so that probably helps too. um
Mm. I mean,
yeah,
what's your non-negotiable, your balance? What do you think of the word when you think balance?
I think I don't have it probably. I think I probably either live in balance, or I'm like completely oblivious to it, like, or like not applying it. Like I don't think I'm thinking in the morning like, okay, let me make sure I'm balanced today. Like I don't think I'm a really
Yeah.
balanced person in that sense. I do think that there's things that I love and that keeps me sane, and I think that's
Yeah.
just to be really happy. But I think the last week or so, because I have more freedom, like I really do want to get on more dates and like, spend more time with Aldo. And Aldo is like a no balance guy. Like, I mean, he loves his
Mm.
job, but job is not a job for him. Like, it's a full on passion. So I was like, kind of, I just want to spend more time with you, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, when you're in prep, like, it's go, go, go time. And I respect that. I'm like, yes, I know. Like, we have priorities. I just want to be clear on, okay, this is like the priority for the next week. And after that, we can get some time and do like impromptu things. But,
Mm.
all that comes down to communication. But we're not going to go into relationship shit right now.
Yeah.
That being said, balancing for me is doing the things that I love, and I still do them in prep too. So I love my little coffee, but now like I have my little almond milk in my coffee. I love that. Like I always open candle lights now. I do like little candle lights. Like, but I don't know if
Ooh, same.
I honestly don't know if I live a balanced life. Like how do you know if you live a balanced life or not? Like does it am I happy? Like of course I am. Like do you
Yeah.
try to balance like my balance is just like literally going like,
With the flow.
oh,
Yeah. It's weird because like, and I didn't want to say it, and I love that you said it because I was like, you are a go with the flow type of person, which I think is amazing. I'm just not. I can't. Like, I'm so like, I definitely can, but in certain situations, sometimes I just feel like I love the balance of what you said of like, I just love what I do. So there's no kind of balance. I just do what I in that moment want to do. If that makes sense. And I think that's good to have that kind of mentality. And
yeah.
that's something I definitely need to try and adopt a little bit more sometimes.
I think it really comes down again to like a mindset. I think I've
Mm.
lived a very, very unbalanced life for a very long time before earning the right to live a balanced life. Like I don't feel that unless it's hard because it's like, do you have a balanced life or you're just settling? It's like you
Yeah, yeah.
want the
Hmm.
achievement, you want the ambition, you want all of this, but I'm in a position now that I'm like, okay, this is the salary that I'm making every month. That's the money that are coming in. I'm able to do this amount of posts, but it's all of that because I've worked 3 jobs in the past. I've jungled with having college life, no social life for a while, training, and then being like a really like non-balanced person at all. Like not talking with my mom like for months at a time. Like I'm not doing that
Mm.
for her every day. And like I think these are the little things that I needed I needed to live the unbalanced life to like actually have the life that I have right now. But do I
Yeah.
feel balanced? Maybe someone would look at me and be like, "Girl, like you're really unbalanced." But for me and my perspective right now, from like what I lived in the past, before I am able to say that I live a life that I'm very blessed of living
Yeah.
because I get to wake up the time that I want. Like I go to bed the time that I want. And yeah,
You get
I
to do
have.
what you love every day. You get to do what you love every day. Like, there's no doubt
Yeah,
about that. Like, I
which
think that's amazing. I think that's good.
I do think that you're right with you. Like it's you need to be pushed in a place. Like okay, get balanced, Phoebe. Right now is the time.
Yeah.
You need to cut tie loose, and this is your time to like have a balanced life. So I wish for you for 2024 to like give yourself those times of like, okay, let me like get some balance right now. Like give
Mm.
yourself that time because if it's not someone who's telling you that or like putting you in the position like, hey, okay, you're getting on that resort and like time to get your life balance. Like I think you would just be go 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 because in your
Yeah.
mind what it goes through. It's like go, go, go. I think I went to the beach with my parents 2 days ago
Yeah, I
and
saw.
girl, the anxiety I get when I go to the beach, like of just like laying down and doing nothing. And I remember like when I was a kid, I would be there for like hours at a time. Like my goal was like to get toasted. And I'm like, wow, I don't think I've laid down on the beach and like felt like I could actually enjoy and just look at the water without looking at my phone, without thinking content. Like my mom was like playing with me, like taking picture with my Celsius, but it wasn't like content, content, content. Because when you're like that and you're a creator and you're creative, and don't get me wrong, like I love what I do, but I'm like sometimes it's just good to like disconnect.
Disconnect. Yeah.
And especially us because we're connected all the time, like our balance would be to disconnect. So like it's really polar opposite. So we don't live like a balanced life where it's like okay, this is enough for us. Like to feel balanced we need like a fucking extreme to like fucking level that shit up, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So our balance is different balance from like anyone probably, but
Yeah. I
I'm
think
curious what.
everyone's oh wait, so you go.
No, I was gonna say like anyone that is listening right now, like please like drop down the comments what balance means for you because I
Mm.
mean I think it's a tough word. It's like
That's why I
about
wanted to bring it up because it's something that not a lot of people one know like there's obviously a meaning of what the actual word means, right? But like also equally, what does that also mean to someone? Like what does balance mean? Everyone like it's all different to everyone. So like balance for one person, for example, could mean like, okay, I'm gonna go out for an hour and then I'm gonna leave because I have work in the morning, I need to do this. But I'm still gonna go out and I'm still gonna see my friends and whatever. Or balance for someone else could be like, I'm going to go out all night and enjoy myself because I haven't done this in months. So that's my balance. Do you know what I mean? So two very different situations because two different people are very, like their whole vibe is different. Their balance is completely different. You know, like everyone looks at it, like you said, perspective. It's very, very different. So that's why I always like, I kind of like asking because I'm like, what does balance look like for you? And like, how do you see it? Because I want to see what you see. Do you know what I mean? Like, and when you said like, I don't have it, I'm like, that's interesting to hear that because like, I'm like, my balance is like, okay, well, exactly that. Like, I'll go out like the girls. We went to see Chris Brown on Friday, which was also absolutely incredible. And then the girls went out again on Saturday, and I was like, I'm battered. I can't go out. I'm really tired. Like I don't want to go out. Didn't go out, and that's my balance. I went out on Friday. I don't have to go out on Saturday and like keep going out. So that's my balance. I chose which one I wanted to do and stuck with it. Had a really good leg session today. Was really nice and active today. Like that in that sense for this weekend, that's been my balance. You know.
yeah, that's
Uh,
fair. Okay.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally get it. I totally get it. Yeah. Um yeah.
But it's
I don't
tough.
I mean cuz I'm just not I don't calculate shit like that just because like I'm telling you like I get to wake up in the morning and basically do whatever I want like and at
Mm,
the time I'm just in my character wise I'm a very homebody girl like
yeah.
you know do. I just like to like walk my dogs. Like I would get balance in the morning and just okay, my balance today is like to get the Starbucks because I get to do like more things or like order Instacart because I don't want to spend time shopping. Like that would be like
Yeah.
I,
But that's your perspective. That's your environment. That's your lifestyle. And that's your balance. And that's completely fine. That's what I'm talking about. Like, it's all very different, which I find so interesting from different perspectives. That's all. So I think it's good that um, we have those different lives and we can kind of talk about it and be like, this is what we find this, and this is what I find this. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, balance is always a tough word, though. Like, it's tough in the sense, especially being it putting in a perspective of it being post show. For example, it's sometimes hard food wise. Like food wise, balance. What does that mean to you? Like that's something that's always difficult because you're like, we're very different post show to a lot of other people. So do you know what I mean?
yeah, I would say like balance it with like your social event. That would be like an easy way to do it. Like keep your,
Mm,
like, we want to eat good food. Like make sure that you actually treat yourself at a restaurant instead of like having good food at your house and like good snacks. Like otherwise you do the opposite. Like I don't really
yeah.
go out. My balance is like having a little snack because I know that snacking is just not a thing in prep. Like you cannot snack. It's just
No.
meal. And I would say like I keep my meal like really clean at the beginning of the day, like as much as I can, and then at night, like I just kind of like we order out, or yesterday we just ordered out, and I was craving like those like white pasta, and I had that, and this
Ooh.
yesterday I made a banana bread, so this morning I had a banana bread with a coffee, which is like super nostalgic, and I was like.
Mm,
I'm like living my best life, but everything just digests really well. So I think, oh, here's another thing with balance when it comes to food. I think I find balance choosing my favorite foods, so like my favorite snacks, but having it like a healthier version. So like I want
mm-hmm.
crackers. I'm gonna get the crackers with the almond like flour, which are delicious, like Simply Meals. Like there's like this Simply Miles or whatever, that brand that is just so good. I'm like I get to try new stuff too, and I think that's super cool. So instead of going with like those like amazing pita chips, I know they're amazing.
Yeah.
Well, they venture out and kind of like try those like different chips with like a healthier version, and it makes me feel good about myself. I don't have any like gut problem because I hate having like a messy gut.
Digestion,
Or like
digestion issues and stuff
yeah,
sucks.
the crackers, like it's stupid. I'd rather have like bad gut problem, or just like not bad gut problem, but like having stomach pain over a cheesecake than crackers. Like
Yeah,
for me, that's
I know.
balance, girl. That's balance. Like I don't want to fucking
That's my balance. I'd rather feel my stomach pain from something worth this stomach pain versus it
yeah,
being crackers. I mean, that makes sense. That's like girl math, make it make sense. Like it is. So, but I get what you mean. Like, and I think that's very true. Like, I think a good like tip or whatnot was like you said, try and make your food healthier, or like little things that, or not make it as such, but obviously choose the healthier option. I think is always good. For me, snacking is just dangerous. Like I try and my little tip is like I try and just make my, because I'm more hungry and I feel like if my meal doesn't satisfy me, that's when I want a snack. So I try and like have a bigger meal. So usually I have like 4 meals a day, but they're bigger. Like they'll volumize with like more protein, carbs, fats, whatever,
yeah,
veggies, anything. Just a big, like I love eating, you know me, I'm a prep princess. So I love like eating like food on a plate. This is this. So like I'm plating up all my food now. Like it feels really nice, like having all my meals and stuff like that. And like I like feeling satisfied from each meal. Then if I'm like, okay, I'm still hungry, I'll then leave it a little bit, then try and like if I want to have something, I'll have something. Sometimes I'll have something just because I'm hungry, but I try and not snack too much because I'm an endless pit if I was to snack. And I probably feel like you could relate as well, but I just eat more and more and more because I feel like this it's just something that can just keep going, going, going with. Sometimes when it comes to snacks, so I
yeah,
try and not snack too much. But yeah, I mean that's my kind of little tip is just having bigger meals because obviously we're used to small meals obviously on prep and stuff. So I feel like switching that up it just makes me feel satisfied after each meal a bit more. I don't know.
yeah. Shout out to protein. Like that's definitely your best friend.
Oh god, yeah. I actually enjoy having more protein. Like it feels so nice.
Yeah,
Also, what I have loved having is having steak again. Oh my
mm,
god, I've loved having steak again. That's felt lovely. So, but I mean, is there anything else you want to kind of like add to that? I'm gonna read a few of people's questions, like people's balances out. But was there anything you kind of wanted to add to that perspective, I guess.
No, babe. Like, I'm curious to see what people are saying.
Mm. Well, someone said, so I kind of said, like, what does your balance look like? Someone said, less overthinking, the art of stronger decisions, and making slash being present, which I think is kind of, that's a good one. Like, that's their, like, I know, that was a good one. I like that one. Someone literally just put that up 10 minutes ago. So that was a good one. Um, which I like being like more stronger with the decision you make, whether that's food, whether that's like wanting to go out, just like owning that decision. Do you know what I mean? Like that's your balance, like owning it. Because sometimes there's, you're indecisive and you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to eat out or go or this. Just be stronger with your decisions and like own it and be like, I'm happy with that decision. That's what I'm doing, type
Yeah,
thing.
you're good at that. I think you're one of the most assertive person I've ever met. I mean, it's a skill. It's a skill, especially in the society that we're in right now, where there's like we're so presented with so much like paradox and like
Yeah.
things that mind all the time and the noise and blah blah blah. Like being assertive is such a talent and I mean a great quality of character too. Like because you can be trusted that way. Like I just feel like it's yeah, that's assertiveness is definitely something that I'm like currently working on. And I want to work on more like 2024 for sure.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, and then someone else said morning walks with my puppy and listening to audio books like in the morning and stuff, which I think is good. Like like you said, your balance was like I just want to kind of go for walks, walk the dog, stuff like that. I think that's good. Um, there was one she said crush.
And an activity that you like do either way, but put it with something, educational. So you're putting your time like at both places at the same time instead of just
Yeah.
like looking at and looking at the book. You're just or just walking alone. Like you do both at the same time. That's good.
Yeah, it's like a good mix of the two. Crushing my training and hitting my macros, but still being able to go for cocktails with my friends and not feeling guilty about it. That's a good one because I feel like that's always something we sometimes feel guilty over is like we put on all this work, effort, all that type of thing. And then when we want to enjoy with our friends as well, we feel guilty from it. Like I put up a story because obviously I went out on the Friday and I didn't actually drink because I kind of enjoy not I enjoy going out and just not drinking. Like because it feels fresh in the morning. It feels nice. Like I'll have one drink if I want to, but one, I hate spending money on drink. Like I really don't like it. Even like fizzy drinks, I hate spending money on it. I don't know why that's so like silly. But I like feeling fresh in the morning. I like feeling good, but I don't like missing out. I like to go dancing, whatever. But I think sometimes people feel like guilty from it, like, oh, I feel like I have to drink or I want to drink. Like, what do I do in that decision? Feel okay with it. I personally feel like if you want a drink, have a drink. Like you said, you have wine, you're in your little wine era, and you've had a glass of wine here or there. You don't finish it, but like you're happy with it, and you're not going to overthink it, right? So it's like you're still achieving what you need to achieve. You're still doing what needs to be done, ticking the boxes, but you're enjoying yourself at the same time. Like you're going out with your friends for cocktails. Like that's great,
Yeah,
you
it
know?
takes like not feeling guilty about it because it really ruins like your whole experience. And I think that's the reason why I used to like never drink. Like I used to like when you start saying never in your life and have like those like cutthroat situation, like you need to ask yourself why. Like why are you cutting so much shit out of your life unless it's like really toxic shit and like
Yeah.
you've established that and like you thought that through. Like I would not have wine because I remember like I would just any alcohol I would take one shot and be like, that ruined the next 3 days of my life because I felt like my training were not the same because,
Mm.
someone wants that alcohol inhibits GH, that growth hormone. So like basically your 3 workouts after that are like trash and shit because you're not growing any muscle. So I cut alcohol in my life
Yeah.
for like the last 9 years. And then I think I was at a winery with Janet, and she was like, "Yeah, like I need to like develop my taste of wine." I was like, "That is so dope!" And like that people were like, educating me on wines. I'm like, "Let me taste a
Let me
little
take a
bit.
cig.
Wait, this is actually like that would work. Like I would actually have that with like a piece of meat." And then with my parents, like I was like, "Okay, just get the wine, and we'll have food." So I had like 3 glasses of wine since the Olympia, and I'm like in my little era, and
Wine era.
I just feel like it works. And I'm like, babe, I'm having that with like a piece of bread and like cheese, literally.
That's
And
you're growing up. I feel like for me, red wine is such a grown up, like, even though I am a grown up, but like in my brain, I'm like, that's such a grown up drink.
only like wine I would drink. Like I don't understand when like white wine. I would like little
Yeah,
red wine.
no, white wine and rosé is not nice. I do actually like red wine, to be fair, but I'm like, oh, that's such an adult drink. But
I
I
just I
think
don't.
it's good.
Yeah, no, it's been good. So yeah, if you
Yeah,
have any things that make you feel guilt, like kind of like, ugh, I wish you get like through it. You
yeah.
know.
Yeah, I think there's never. I say never say never, like the little old saying that people say, because it kind of does come into context in this point of, unless it's completely toxic and really like, no, you should never do that, like, type thing, because it's going to bring sadness to you. Why say, oh, why say, I why say I'm never going to have alcohol, I'm never going to do this, like, it's not always necessary to cut things so quickly. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of the gist of them all, really. Like, a lot of them were kind of, food based, like making sure that obviously they can, track their macros and still kind of have fun with family, friends, going for walks, all that type of thing. So I think that's good that people have found a really nice balance, like a good in between, especially post show, in prep, like their non-negotiables and stuff. So, but yeah, it sounds really, really good.
Yeah, I love that.
I
That's a good.
know. I know. That was nice. It's nice to catch up as well, because I feel like I literally feel like I haven't seen you for ages. So, but before we finish, should we tell them about the event? Because
Uh, let's keep that for
no,
next. Yeah,
for
next
next
week.
week? For next week?
Mm.
Okay, cool. Right, that's fine. Okay, perfect. Right. Well, thank you so much for watching episode number 30 of Same Old Podcast. Please make sure you like, subscribe, all those fun things, because very exciting things coming in the new year. And suggest, if you comment down below any suggestions of topics that you want to hear, obviously now that we're in our kind of off seasons, off prep, all that type of thing, we'd love to obviously make topics and stuff about that, and obviously life in general. So but let us know, and we love you guys so much, and we'll see you
Love
in
you,
the next one.
Phoebes.
Love
I was
you.
like, I was like,
Love you, Phoebes.
like, no, we're not talking.
Much love. See you soon.